Hey there, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I am King 5 Meteorologist Adam Claibon. So today was phase one of our pattern change that we're going to see here as we go throughout the next week. The second phase will be more of the rain. First phase was just the cool air, and we did see a good amount of sunshine. So all in all, still a pretty decent day for most of the region here across western Washington. But yes, we are going to cool down. We're going to get more rain in here. And when you combine the two up into the mountains, you might be talking about some snow, which let's go ahead and get it right into it. Snow levels will be falling here as we head throughout the latter part of the week, all the way down to 4,000 feet here into the latter half of the weekend and to start off next work week. That means around Stevens Pass, we might be seeing some accumulating snowfall. Ground temperature still fairly warm, so might not see a ton, but that's something we're tracking here as we head on into the next 7-day stretch. Today, again, we saw a cool down. Highs around 60 around Seattle, Tacoma, Puyallup getting up to 64, and then 50s off towards the north and to the west. But that was a far cry from a lot of the 70s we saw yesterday. And yes, this did come through with a front, but it was a dry front mainly, only 1/100th of an inch up that way around Port Townsend. Most of our other spots not reporting any rainfall at all. All right, so here's your forecast. Tomorrow, maybe a few sun breaks, but generally we're going to see more clouds. We're going to have better chances of rain, and that's going to hang with us heading into Friday, too, and through the weekend as we keep this cooling trend going. Highs falling into the 50s by Saturday and Sunday and staying there into next work week. Also, clouds beginning to move on in. Expect rain eventually with some of those clouds by tomorrow, and we'll see some of that heading here around Seattle too as we look off towards the east, and that's going to be the direction that our showers will be coming from. It looks like we'll see it more from an opposite direction than what we typically do. West or east to west, and starting to bring us shower chances even after midnight, and could have a few of those around into tomorrow morning. Some of this dying off, some of this holding together. We're going to show you all of that here, but it looks like as we head into the night, expect those lows in the low 50s and upper 40s. All right, there's that frontal boundary. You can barely pick out where it is, but on radar, there are just a few showers popping up there near the top of the state over towards the eastern side, where you can have a few light showers there and even starting to see just a little bit popping up down this way. That's your frontal boundary. Clouds, they were definitely more noticeable throughout last night and early this morning, and now we're keeping an eye on this area of low pressure right here that is spinning just off of the Oregon and Washington state line, the coast there, and you can see that that's going to be making its way through the area and continuing to spin more and more of these bands of rain that are going to be heading our way. So as we look at that here on Futurecast tonight, I think we're pretty much dry, especially if you have any evening plans. No worries about rain really impacting those. As we go into tomorrow morning, here we are. We start to see that band of rain shape up for us, and that's going to head through as we go throughout the morning commute and breaking down at the same time. So really just seeing a lot of clouds as we head into late tomorrow morning and into Thursday afternoon. And then we start to see it pick up yet again as that area of low pressure brings in more moisture. We see a bit of that deeper moisture helping to enhance some of the showers on into tomorrow night. And then here we go into Friday. That's noon, and you can see some heavier pockets of rain will be possible with that. And once this system starts to work its way off towards the east, well, that's when the second stage of this cool down will start to come in, and that's going to knock us down into the 50s for highs. All right, so rain totals with this. Take this with a grain of salt because we are going to see that band is going to move here and there. It's going to break down. It's going to enhance in some spots. So generally, I would say 1/4 to maybe a 1/2 an inch for most spots, and maybe more so along that 1/4 of an inch range. With some spots that do see some of that banding a bit more of a long time, helping you to get up to closer to about a 1/2 an inch, while areas as you head farther to the coast, especially the south coast, might see a little less in terms of the rainfall with this. And then check this out right here. These are the expected snow totals so far through 11 p.m. Not a whole lot, and again, we're going to stay above Snoqualmie Pass, so you might see snowflakes there, but little of anything will stick to the ground, and we're talking about limited amounts of around Stevens and a White Pass as we are higher, but still a warm ground. We're not going to see a lot of this really stick and hold to the ground, but could see maybe a quick dusting to an inch, maybe 2 inches out of that here as we head on into the weekend with those lower snow levels. And one more thing I wanted to point out, Friday we'll have this area of low pressure move on through. That's going to destabilize the atmosphere just a bit, so the possibility of thunderstorm activity will be around generally south of Seattle. And now as we look at what's going to be ahead for us through the weekend, you can see that that area of low pressure spins off towards the east. That cooler air starts to come in from the north, and that helps to bring back even additional rain chances on through Sunday into Monday. And you can see a big mass of rain heading all the way down into California. Should be really good for them For us, we're not going to get the brunt of it. Some lighter totals when it comes to our rain, but we are going to continue to see those chances around until we head into early Tuesday morning. Then by Wednesday, things really starting to dry out. As far as tonight, we'll drop those numbers down into the mid and upper 40s, a few low 50s out there for lows. Highs tomorrow getting up to 59 in Blaine. We top off at 57 in Anacortes. We'll see highs just barely getting up to 60 around Marysville, Everett, and in Maltby. 59 in Coopville, Oak Harbor up to 57. Low 60s for Poulsville, Bainbridge Island, Shoreline up to 60 degrees. 59 at Issaquah. We'll see a high of 63 in Puyallup and 62 in Olympia, with highs farther south, more so in the mid 60s from Centralia down to Longview. Lower 60s out towards the coast. And it looks like we'll see 50s up that way around Lake Kavanaugh, getting closer to Nia Bay, as well as Port Angeles and over towards Sequim. 7-day forecast, things definitely looking very fall-like, and the sunny and pleasant weather we've been dealing with here so much recently, well, that's going to be a thing of the past, and we are going to introduce a lot more of these rain chances, which we kind of need, so we can definitely use that rain here across the state, and we're going to see the cooler weather to go along with that. As far as the snow is concerned, there into the mountains, may not be a whole lot, but it is only the first storm, right? All right, everyone, well, take care. Have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll talk to you soon.